The head of the Minneapolis Police Department is promising change. Chief Janae Harto says she's embracing recommendations included in a U.S. Department of Justice report that indicates the department could do better policing its own officers. The report was put together at Harto's request. The recommendations include increasing transparency of the citizen complaint process, strengthening the coaching many Minneapolis officers receive, and replacing the early intervention system that helps flag problem behaviors by officers. A Neillsville, Minnesota man has been sentenced to 15 years in prison and another 10 years on probation for a drunk driving crash north of Hillsboro, North Dakota that killed two sisters. 51-year-old James Yankee pleaded guilty to 2 counts of criminal vehicular homicide. He was driving his girlfriend's car when he lost control and crashed last May. 23-year-old Mercedes Rowley of Sharon, North Dakota, and her sister, 23-year-old Taya Bayer of Red Lake Falls, Minnesota, were thrown from the car. A highway patrol reconstruction team determined Yankee was going 94 miles an hour at the time of the crash. A Brookston man is dead following a head-on crash with a snowplow in the Floodwood area. The Minnesota State Patrol says the wreck happened just before 10 last night. Investigators say the pickup, driven by Winston Lottie, was heading east on Highway 2 when he swerved into the other lane and collided head-on with the MnDOT snowplow. The force of the crash sent the pickup truck rolling onto its side on the south shoulder, killing the 19-year-old. The plow driver, a Duluth woman, was injured but not seriously. We'll take a break. More news after this.
They're packed with power, built to last. Once you own an Aaron snow throw, you'll be able to handle any amount of snow that Mother Nature decides to send your way this winter. Mike Small Engine, where they service everything they sell and more. Mike Small Engines, located across from the VFW on East Highway 12 in Wilmer. Aaron, the king of snow.
The Minnesota Department of Human Services and Governor Mark Dayton plan to make cuts at the Community Addiction Recovery Enterprise or CARE program and close the Adolescent Treatment Unit in Wilmer by the end of the year. In a memo that went out to state employees, they say the closures are being made to reduce a department budget deficit of $19 million. A total of 43 care workers will be laid off. Cutting the CARE program in Wilmer, St. Peter, and Brainerd will downsize the number of beds from 174 to 70 beds by June of 2016. And Governor Mark Dayton's budget proposes closing Wilmer's 16-bed psychiatric hospital for children and adolescents, which serves children with both mental illness, autism, developmental disabilities, ADHD, and who have undergone traumatic experiences early in life. Dayton says closing the Wilmer facility will save about $1.1 million a year. Representative Dave Baker of Wilmer sent out a news release saying, quote, I have serious concerns about DHS closing the Wilmer Children's Psychiatric Facility, the changes being made to existing DHS programs, and the impact on services and livelihoods in Wilmer and the surrounding area. Baker also says he's disappointed at the lack of advance notice given by the governor. Wilmer and Kandiyohi County Economic Development Commission Director Steve Rehnquist says if the programs close and the buildings become vacant, they'll be purchased by the Wilmer Technology Campus. Rehnquist says more than the loss of jobs, he's concerned about the loss of services.
Diagnosis that may not be delivered after this change in care delivery, or will people who are now local be moved 150 miles away?
Rehnquist says he's been through this before when the state of Minnesota was closing down regional treatment services in St. Peter. He says he and others will be urging the state to change its mind.
It makes up their mind. It's pretty hard to fight. So I suspect myself and others will be trying to advocate for keeping the programs.
That's the news. News Talk 1340 and 96.3 FM, KWLM. I'm J.P. Cola.